Hello, my friends. Welcome back for another grooming session. These are fast and furious at this time of the year, and I love it. I am here for fast and furious when it's cold and windy. It's actually not too bad out. So we have Persephone up on the stand. Persephone is feeling herself today. She gave me a heck of a time doing her hooves today. And typically at this time of the year, they're so easy to groom because, they were just bathed and show prepped in October. It hasn't been that long. It hasn't been that muddy because, it's fall, winter. And so they usually stay fairly clean. But I swear this child, this goat has managed to bring in 3/4 of the pasture in her hair. She has leaves and grasses and some of the bedding from the stall. What else are we finding in here? A couple of seeds of some sort. Oh my goodness, she is a hot mess. Actually, she's really not bad. I shouldn't complain. She doesn't have a pristine personality, right? She is not a problem getting into the mud puddles or walking through tree branches or rolling in leaves or whatever else she's done. I mean, look at that. This time of the year, we shouldn't be pulling out dirty hair. We should be able to just quickly and easily scooch our way through it. But, I mean, I complain, and it's literally done. I've just got it all, this side's all done already. So this time of the year, because grooming is so quick, and I don't know, I guess I need to make it feel like the time spent setting up and getting them out here on the stand is worth it. I do a double brush, right? I use a slicker brush, which really gets into all the nooks and crannies and gets everything out. And then we do a pin brush just to make sure there's no knots deep down or anything happening. And there really isn't. Just like her mom, Misty, she's got a little bit of cashmere coming out of her coat now as she forms up a light layer of undercoat for the winter. She is not zero cashmere, which is my ideal, but she's pretty low on the totem pole in terms of how much cashmere she has. And so I can't complain, improvement over her mother and generation. Let's try English. Generationally, there you go. She is going the direction we want her to go, and her kids have also been going in that direction, which is beautiful. The environment does help that a bit, right? If they're in a hot weather climate, their bodies don't create the cashmere undercoat because they don't need it in that environment. In a cold weather environment, sometimes even if they haven't displayed cashmere before, they will start to display it because they're in a cold weather environment. So I had a couple of goats that came from Texas, and I thought, oh, brilliant, no cashmere. That's what I want in my herd. And they both started to develop some heavy duty cashmere coats, just in response to the change in environment, change in weather. They were not used to, obviously, the cold weather that we get in New Jersey. They got used to it. Things normalized. So it's a little bit of genetics, a little bit of environment, and a lot of selective and careful breeding programs to reduce or eliminate the amount of undercoat that these guys get. The ideal, of course, is none. But at the same time, even if you have goats that, should have none, they sometimes start to develop it in response to the environment. And there's nothing you can do about that. She got some static electricity. And I just realized I didn't brush myself off from doing her hooves. So not only do I look like a cartoon here in my coveralls, like, I don't know, probably look like I'm wearing a diaper. I'm sure it's not the most flattering angle because I always focus the camera on the goat and not on me. I should probably think about that. I look like an Oompa Loompa. But Oh, at any rate, yeah, you know, I don't even know. I've completely lost track of what I was talking about. We're talking about hair. We were talking about cashmere, and then somehow I turned the channel, and we talked about camera angles and being an Oompa Loompa. So, at any rate, oh, static electricity. That's where I was. There you go. See, the brain does work every so often. All right, so static electricity. You can see it sort of building up here. They don't get shock, and it's not static from wool. It's really more of a friction created static, and I'm creating it because I'm standing here pulling, metal tines through her coat in cold weather. Is it gonna, the conditioning spray that I use will settle that right back down. She's not gonna shock anybody. She's not gonna, they don't have that spark. It just sort of makes it fly away, which is so cute. And I don't think the coverall fabric actually helps that situation. I think it tracks it, which is, again, what kind of distracted me, right? I realized that I had all that dust all over me from grinding her hooves. So at any rate, yeah, not loving the fact that this is how you're seeing me, but I am loving how the goats look, and that's more important. Isn't that right? You got some good bangs, your coat's looking good. Now you just have to keep it that way until the next show, my girl. We'll see if that happens. Sometimes when they have kids, their coats get raggedy. Sometimes the kids chew on their coats. Sometimes their coats just get brittle and break because they're devoting so much of their energy, their body to their kids and creating milk and raising their kids, that coats sometimes suffer. I haven't seen that as much, thankfully, but it's always a possibility. And the other possibility is, of course, that the hormone surges actually improve coat quality. So it can go either way. I'll take the latter, but not always. So yeah, grooming at this time of the year is fast and furious. There isn't a lot to do because they still remain fairly clean from their show grooms. And at the end of the day, if it's a short session for them, I'm happier for them and they're happier about it. So I hope you are having a fantastic day wherever you are in this world. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, be kind, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye for now.